Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from ETimes TV.
Hi Tamannaah Bhatia, I'm here.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great and thank you. So, is it MasterChef or your love for food or your interaction with Sanjeev that got you into the show?
So I feel like maybe a little bit of everything. So I think when they were in search of someone to host the Telugu version, there was a lot of conversation as to who they thought would be appropriate. Of course, for all the other three versions, there are men, and I think it's a nice balance to have, right? Like to also have the female host, and I'm probably the only one out of the other languages. And I guess once the options were posed, Sanjeev was keen on having me on board. But Prasad, who's the producer, earlier on could not get any connect with me. But through Sanjeev, sir, he got my connect. And that's how we kind of got talking. And then the moment the proposal came to me, it was a no-brainer because I have always been a foodie. Of course, I've not put it out as much as I put it out now. But it was a natural progression towards, it's the most authentic I can be. It's something that I'm very, very comfortable with, and it's up my alley, and it's something I completely resonate with. So, and I'm glad because, I mean, it is my TV debut, and I wanted to do something that I actually feel for and actually understand and resonate with. So I think everything was very organic, and it all felt like it all just came together at the right time.
And when you were interacting with Sanjeev, how did you find that necessary confidence? Is it that his track record or it was purely,
because of the pandemic, there was a lot of our prep was on calls, so we really didn't have the opportunity to meet each other as much. We really met each other only on set. And of course, he introduced me to a completely new method of functioning, which is like in your instruction, because I've never done that before. But he's extremely patient with me because, of course, I speak Telugu, but I speak Telugu to a certain degree. And we really wanted to make sure that we communicate in as much Telugu as possible so that, Telugu audiences understand. And also a nicer connect form, right, when you speak in the language that the show is in. So there was a lot of, and also in terms of what kind of content should go out, because of course the MasterChef format is brilliant by itself. They've had this is their 500th season, so they have enough content to roll over. But to make it Telugu, to make it native was crucial, and Sanjeev of course knows how to do that best. So he really supported me in that sense to bring the Telugu next into the show, which was very crucial because it's a regional representation.
Great. Give us a glimpse into your how you worked on your Telugu. What better you did for this particular show? Where did you go right, wrong, and how is it, especially with the Telugu?
I think essentially what even Sanjeev and I both are trying to do with this show. One is to definitely bring in considering it's an international format. We're trying to bring a Telugu sensibility into this international format. So that is one very important element for the two of us. Another is also to bring out me as a person into the audiences. All this while they've seen me as a character always, they haven't really met me as a person.
Yeah,
so even for Sanjeev, I mean, of course, we met on a show briefly, but as we started interacting further, he could notice certain personality traits which were not really out there. So you said, why don't we bring this out through the show, because people will know you better like that. And it's also a part of me which is fun, which is not tapped. It's the kind of side which maybe my friends will know, maybe my close family members will know, but an audience would not, because I wouldn't have brought that out. So I think Sanjeev has been very he's been watching those, and he's trying to kind of bring that into the show as well, which is actually working in the sense that at the end, adding any kind of humor or adding a light moment in an already because the food business is extremely serious. We are not playing around with what the concept of the show is, or the contestants are put through, the home cooks are put through some serious challenges and some serious tests. So in the middle, my presence is a sort of a relief. So that I could do only by channelizing my inner, self and my inner humor or whatever I personally do say with my friends or family.
What does the Sanjeev make you do for the first time on the show?
On the show, I think a lot of standing. I have never stood for so long ever in my life. And I think very interesting because I can spend the whole day dancing and not get tired. And be fighting and not get tired, but he's making me stand, and that I find extremely exhausting. But he's also making it look good, so then I'm like, okay, chalo, we'll do the standing part also.
Your first memory of your love for cooking, when did that happen? Your first memory of your love for cooking.
First memory. So for me, definitely it's like my mom teaching me how to make a dosa. That's definitely a first memory. Because one of the first things I learned in life how to cook. For me cooking comes naturally. It's only when I'm free and I'm not working do I have that luxury because I'm traveling. So I don't have a kitchen to myself where I can cook. So I think the lockdown was a great time for me to actually sit and cook a bit because I never had that much free time ever before in my life. But it's something that I don't think I'm the best cook on the planet, but I think whenever I cook with great intent. The attempt is to make something that my loved ones will like. But otherwise I'm mostly someone who eats all the food.
Okay.
Preparing all the food.
So if you have to prepare a meal, who would it be and what would you make?
I think for my parents, I think it would be like a breakfast. It would probably be a smoothie. I love making smoothie bowls. That's the one easy thing that I do at my home. I make a bunch of different bowls for my dad.
What is her role in this particular concept? Having agreed upon.
It's largely a bridge between the cook and the chef, and the judges. They are the judges, of course, are conducting the challenges and the tests and the technicality of it. I, of course, communicate that to the home cook, but my purpose is also to kind of get them, in their element. It's also to kind of get the home cook connected to the judges and to the audiences as well. So I'm somewhat the bridge between that.
How do you think the outlook towards food, nutrition and fitness changed during this pandemic? Do you think it has evolved or how has it gone? What are your observations like?
So basically, the entire lockdown was a revelation in itself because I realized I actually really like to cook. The lockdown was also a period where I got together with Luke to write a book which was about going back to your roots, basically following an Ayurvedic lifestyle which I did for 2 years. And the experience that I formed out of that is what I wrote into a book. And of course, in general, I have always felt like food is something that it's what gets people to bond, whether it's a day when you're sitting at home, when you have an off day, or whether it's a celebration in the sense it's a festival, or it's a wedding, or it's any kind of an occasion. It's inevitably food that you use to celebrate. So definitely the value of that comes through a lot in the lockdown because a lot of us took a lot of solace in enjoying and chilling with your family because you were literally confined into your house. I think that has been highly explored. And for me, the entire lockdown was a productive period when it came with my relationship in terms of food.
Who are the best cooks, men or women, according to you?
I feel like cooking is a life skill. It's really not about a guy or a girl. It's not about the gender. It's a basic life skill. I mean, if you want to survive, you need to know how to cook. So it has nothing to do with you being a man or a woman. I think it's just our perspectives need to get a little evolved, and hopefully in due course that also will happen.
And the best and the overrated food trends you have noticed very lately?
I think desserts have definitely, taken up a lot more graphic presentation. I think that's definitely been a trend which I've noticed a lot in terms of what you can do with dessert. I think that variety just come out a lot more now. So yeah, for me that's something I've noticed, and I've also seen a lot more health food being introduced into the market. Trends of how to make things gluten free, how to make things vegan. I think those are the things that I've seen largely happening at the moment.
Elaborate on your working experience with television. Did you find the medium hard, or how is it like?
No, but what I learned is while working on the show, I also learned how to channelize my energy correctly, because the first 2 days, of course, were demanding. But as the days elapsed, I realized that, even if I'm standing, I can totally channelize my energy in a way that I know how to use it and, conserve it also, because it's a new medium for me and I'm learning. But definitely it's making me strong enough to, I feel like when I shot for a film like Bahubali, it physically strengthened me a lot, because I was ready for anything more difficult, and I really pushed it then, and then thereafter whatever came was easy. So I feel like after I've done MasterChef in terms of just the endurance part of how to shoot, I think I can of course now take up a lot more challenging stuff physically, which is good. I think every time as an artist you need to up your your abilities in terms of and your skill sets, of course. So I think this show definitely gives me a chance to get myself around with that.
Great. Your interaction with the contestants.
It's fun. I think every episode we got to know a new side to them. We also loosened up, as the episodes have moved on, and I think I know each and every person by now. I think I know everyone quite well, and their personalities are right out there for us to see and enjoy, and they're having a lot of fun, and they're also, I think even they've learned how to deal with the pressure and the stress, because it is very stressful for them. So they're also sticking it out, with all the competition that's going on.
Mm-hmm. And any more TV that you wanted to do, or is just that movies and web series that you're concentrating right now, apart from MasterChef?
I'm not really planning everything that's moving ahead, but I think there's a lot of digital work happening in my career at the moment. And there's of course features as and when we see, theaters opening up and theatrical releases happening more frequently. I just wrote a book which is coming out. I also have MasterChef, which is of course my TV debut. So I don't know, I'm at a stage where I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm also experimenting with a lot of different things, and I also don't know what's my next move, honestly.
Do you want to spill beans on your a special surprise that you wanted to give on the show? You mentioned it in the press con in Bangalore also. So there's something coming up.
That?
You mentioned there's something new coming up from your end about food.
Yeah, so it's a book. It's basically a book with Luke and me. We've just written a book which is basically related to Ayurvedic lifestyle. What we've learned from our grandparents, and what we've heard from back in the day. Mm-hmm. And simple, easy, sustainable methods of addressing health issues which are chronic. Mm-hmm. I had a bunch myself, and whatever I did with Luke actually helped me get over it. So that's what the book is going to be about. You watch the show and please let us know your feedback. I'm sure you can please drop your comments with that. Looking forward to knowing what you feel about the show.